Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Gitasha Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 18th of April. US NSA meets Indian Prime Minister Modi, discusses bilateral issues. Pakistan endangering life of locals in occupied territories, says research analyst. And 23 motorists begin expedition to London from northeast India. And now for all the details. Houses of residents were heavily damaged in India's Kashmir as excessive firing of mortar shells from the Pakistani side targeted the civilian areas on Tuesday. No civilian casualties were reported from the incident.
Pakistani troops resorted to ceasefire violation for a second consecutive day on Tuesday, targeting civilian settlements near the de facto border called the Line of Control or the LOC. It occurred in Nowshera sector of Rajouri district in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. Heavy shelling of 120 mm mortars damaged houses of locals residing in border areas.
पाकिस्तान की ओर से जो सिविल एरियाज हैं उसको टारगेटेड किया गया है और लोगों के घरों के ऊपर बॉम्ब्स गिराए गए हैं, लोगों के जानवरों का नुकसान हो गया है, बहुत सारे जानवर जख्मी हो गए हैं, मारे गए हैं, लेकिन भगवान का शुक्र है कि यहाँ कोई सिविलियन किसी व्यक्ति की जान नहीं गई है, लेकिन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, मकानों को, बिजली के ट्रांसफार्मर्स को बहुत भारी नुकसान पहुंचा है.
On Monday, schools were closed down in the area to avoid any mishap due to the incessant firing from across the border. According to local media reports, Pakistani troops have been firing intermittently upon Indian positions along the border in the district since the last 3 days.
Meanwhile, US National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster on Tuesday met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in capital New Delhi. His visit to India comes after completing a short trip to Afghanistan and Pakistan.
The United States President Donald Trump's National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks on issues of mutual interest. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Foreign Secretary Subramanyam Jaishankar were also present at the meeting. McMaster emphasized the importance of the US-India strategic relationship and reaffirmed India's designation as a major defense partner. McMaster had earlier visited Kabul and Islamabad and held talks with Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani to strengthen bilateral ties and bring an end to the Islamic State and the Taliban to bring peace and stability in the region.
Staying on news from India, Nepal President Bidya Devi Bhandari was accorded a ceremonial welcome in New Delhi on Tuesday. She is on a 4-day visit to India, which is aimed at strengthening bilateral ties.
Nepal President Bidya Devi Bhandari was received by her Indian counterpart Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Narendra Modi upon her arrival at the Presidential Palace on Tuesday. She inspected the guard of honor at the forecourts of the Presidential Palace. In her brief interaction to the media at the Presidential Palace, Nepal President Bhandari said her ongoing state visit to India will help the two neighbouring countries to further strengthen bilateral ties. Bhandari also paid tribute to India's iconic freedom fighter Mahatma Gandhi at his memorial Rajghat. The visiting president also met Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj and is later scheduled to hold delegation-level talks with senior Indian ministers.
Moving on to news from Pakistan, Pakistan's military has captured a would-be Islamic State female suicide bomber in Lahore city. The Army's chief spokesperson on Monday said that the woman was captured before she could carry out an attack on the Christian community during Easter celebrations.
Major General Asif Kapoor, the Director General of Pakistan Army's Public Relations Wing, Inter-Services Public Relations or ISPR said that the would-be Islamic State female suicide bomber was captured by the military during an operation on April 14. They identified the woman as Noreen Legari, a medical student who grew up in the southern city of Hyderabad.
हैदराबाद से जो एक लड़की जो थी वो मिसिंग हो गई, फिर उसका फेसबुक पे पैगाम आया कि मैं जो है वो दाइश के साथ ज्वाइन कर गई हूँ, और वो पैगाम आया। उसके वालिदैन ने आर्मी चीफ से एक अपील की कि हमारी बच्ची को बाजियाब कराया जाए और जो कसूरवार हैं उनके साथ डील किया जाए। तो आर्मी चीफ ने DGMI को ख़ास हिदायत दी कि ये जो बच्ची है हमारी अपनी बच्ची है, कौम की बच्ची है, इसको दरियाफ्त करना और इसको वापस लेके आना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है।
कार्रवाई के लिए 1 अप्रैल को तंजीम ने ही सामान मुहैया किया था और सामान में 2 जैकेट्स और 4 हैंड ग्रेनेड्स और कुछ गोलियां थी। इन जैकेट्स का इस्तेमाल जो यूज़ था वो ईस्टर के दिन किसी चर्च में करना था, बतौर खुदकुश मुझे इस्तेमाल किया जाना था।
Legari confessed that she was working with 2 other men.
Meanwhile, Pakistani rule in illegally occupied regions of Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir has been opposed by human rights and social activists. In an interview, a senior research analyst deemed Pakistan as sponsor of religious extremism.
The federal government of Islamabad has often been accused by human rights activists of spreading violence and terror in the illegally occupied territories of Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Dusan Vejinovic, a senior research analyst from European Foundation for South Asian Studies, has been researching about the excesses of the Pakistani establishment in the occupied territories and how terror is being propagated in the regions.
It has been Pakistan's state policy to support terrorist and religious extremist groups. I do not believe that merely declaring Pakistan as a terrorist state would bring any difference to the region. I think it is in the interest of peace, and more importantly in Pakistan's own interest, to recognize that its state policy is jeopardizing the lives of its own citizens.
Exiled Kashmiri leaders and political activists regularly hold protests to bring the international community's attention towards the plight of people. Vejinovic drew attention to the UN resolutions and cited that Pakistan is legally obliged to withdraw its forces from the occupied territories.
Pakistan has failed to do so for the last 17 years, which consequently means that the UN resolutions could not be implemented.
Part of the erstwhile princely province of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir, the 2 regions were illegally occupied by Pakistan about 7 decades ago. Since then, locals have been facing repression and injustice under Pakistani rule.
In news from Sri Lanka, the death toll in last Friday's catastrophic collapse of a garbage dump in Sri Lankan capital mounted to 28 on Monday. According to officials, the toll could rise as more people are feared trapped.
Rescue operations continued on Monday as an estimated 100 people remain trapped under the mud and debris after the collapse of a giant rubbish dump in Sri Lankan national capital, Colombo. The 300-foot-high dump in the Mitotamola area on the border of the commercial heart of Colombo collapsed after flames engulfed it late on Friday, the nation's New Year's Day, burying many homes and killing 28. President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed the authorities to ensure financial resources are not an obstacle in the relief operation, his office said in a statement.
Now still we are continuing with the clearance and we could recover 28 bodies, 27 complete bodies, and one part of the body we cannot identify whether it is a male or a female, but the count is now 28.
The authorities have said that they were investigating whether the collapse was natural or man-made. They also said that about 145 houses had been damaged. Residents of the area, mostly living in the shanties, had been demanding the removal of the dump, saying it was causing health problems. The government had said it would remove it soon under an infrastructure plan.
Moving on, a team of 23 motorists began their expedition to British capital of London from India's northeastern Manipur province on Monday. The team hopes to complete their journey in 49 days.
A team of 23 motorists under the expedition named Road to London in their 13 sports utility vehicles embarked on a journey of nearly 5,600 miles to London from India's northeastern Imphal city on Monday. Flagged off by Deputy Chief Minister of Manipur, the expedition has been organized by a travel company which specializes in self-driving expeditions. It is the brainchild of two avid travelers, Sanjay Madan, an off-roading expert, and Tushar Agarwal, a travel writer.
As a whole group, we are going to represent India, and we'll be driving through the terrains or the places where normally tourists don't go. So it's a great opportunity for us also to connect with the actual human race of that region.
The duo Sanjay Madan and Tushar Agarwal as a team also hold a Guinness World Record for driving the longest distance in a single country, and they also have 15 Limca World Records under their head. The travel company has also organized a similar road trip to Bangkok last year from Imphal.
And I feel quite privileged actually and honoured that they've allowed me to join them. And I wish I could go all the way to London. I'm actually just going to Moscow, but we'll see how it goes. I might be able to go all the way there.
In their 49-day journey, the motorists will pass through Central Asia before entering Russia and then steering their way in Eastern Europe. The motorists will enter Germany. From there, the participants will sail over the English Channel before entering Britain.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. US NSA meets Indian Prime Minister Modi, discusses bilateral issues. Pakistan endangering life of locals in occupied territories, says research analyst. And 23 motorists begin expedition to London from northeast India. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.